Welcome. This is Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're going to talk about what our legislators, local legislators, council people, and all those people that are making changes to your regulations and ordinances out there.
That's right. And whether you live in Oxford Township, Addison Township, Village of Leonard, or the Village of Oxford, these are the people that you elected or the commissions that they appointed, and their decisions directly affect you.
And if you didn't vote, they still affect you.
That's correct. But not voting is voting.
That's right. And by the way, there are a couple of elections that we're going to have.
That's right. One in August, one in November. You said before that the August is a primary, but also there's some issues on there, some millage issues that will either get voted in or turned down. And also the November election will be for, and actually there's a lot of probably officials in your locale that might be up for re-election.
That's for sure. I do know the council members for the village are up for election. So that's one thing. There's also a number of tax issues that are going to be out there that you, if you're concerned about your property going up in price in terms of taxing, you might want to vote for sure.
Right. And this isn't like the presidential election where if someone gets voted in and someone gets voted out, they'll have to wait till January to take the oath of office. That happens at the very next meeting.
Right. Well, let's talk about what's going on with the village council then, shall we?
Okay.
Let's talk about 98 Glaspie Street.
Oh, no. That horse has been flogged so many times. But let me ask you, what's new?
Well, what's new? Actually, you knew it was going to be this subject or it was going to be the Burdick Street, the pothole issue, How can you forget that one?
I can't.
Yeah, I went down
Every
the road.
time I go down it, I can't.
Right? I went down the road just the other day. I want to say, hey, I wonder how bad it is. It's pretty bad, I got to tell you. So they need to fix it. And, they've appropriated monies for that. But that was on another session we had here, too, on our program. But now
The fix is in.
Yeah, right. The fix is going to be in. It's not quite yet, but it's going to be.
Not referring to the election.
Right. And actually, I just talked to the village manager, Joe Young, the other day, and he was telling me that it looks good at this stage from the state to actually help finance.
Oh, good.
Part of that. So, anyway, 98 Glaspie Street is the one we're going to talk about.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
We've had a number of people that have been interested in purchasing the property, supposedly. We started at $200,000 roughly, and then we went to $300,000. And the latest interest is a company called Oakland Livingston Human Service Agency.
It's not a company, it's an agency.
Thanks for correcting me. I knew it wasn't, but I just want to see if you were alert.
Okay.
Alert. Okay, number one.
And what do they do?
Well, they build buildings, actually.
Good for them.
Yeah, but they put people in it, too.
No.
And right now they have 5 locations nationwide, and this would be the first building. It's apartments, or type little condos, that are going to be built for people that are hard of hearing or no hearing, and have sight visual problems.
Okay.
But you do have to be a senior citizen, 55 or older, in order to get into this complex.
Did they say how many units would be there?
They did. I believe it's 40 to 50 units is what they're looking at.
That's pretty good size.
It is. And the little birdie said, I heard, that they've offered around $400,000, for the property, but they haven't committed to it, but this is what they're figuring their budget would be.
So does that still keep it on the tax rolls or does it take it off?
No, it'll stay on the tax rolls, and actually, if you calculate it, which Joe Young did right away.
I'm sure he would.
Right. Came up with about $24,000 into money that will recirculate back into the village
Excellent.
in taxes per year.
Plus, not only are people living there, but there's also probably a staff that takes care of those people.
Well, yes, there probably is. But they've also got the latest of electronics or technology within the building. For example, when you ring the doorbell, usually it goes ding ding or dong dong or whatever it does, but depends on your bell.
So what does this one do?
That's how you ring your bell. This one here has a light that will flash on and off and let them know that somebody's wanting to contact them. Phones are set up the same way, for people that are...
They don't have vibrating watches?
No, and they don't wear those little collars that puppy dogs wear. You stop them dead, with a
Vibrating watch, by the way, wouldn't be a bad idea.
No, but the neat thing is that this location is ideal, they said, for them. It's got the acreage they need for the parking and the building. But the neat thing is that it's really close to all the activity.
Right.
It's near downtown. So they're thinking that that's a great benefit, for the residents that would be moving into that area.
Does that require any particular adjustment to walkways and traffic lights and stuff like that? Because these people are either visually or hearing impaired?
I don't believe that it will. As a matter of fact, there is a similar operation right across the street right now.
Oh, really?
It's one of the best kept secrets in this community. Now, Terry Stiles, that used to be on the chairperson for the council, she made me aware of this earlier, and I wasn't aware of it either. And they do a lot of good for the village.
So how does this new facility tie in with them, or do they tie in at all?
I think it shows continuity.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
they're going to be close.
There you go.
But it's nice to know that there is such an operation working, and they are doing a great job with it. And there's no reason to believe that these people won't either, as they're recommended by the county, by Oakland County. So,
and as we all get a little older, we may need those facilities in the future.
yeah, right. You probably will. The other thing that was discussed also, let's talk about the township. They had a meeting, and they have decided through, through the various figures that they look at, I guess, that they need to increase the millage for police service.
This is the police service that they chose to switch from the village. Is it the village?
No.
Or is it the dispatch?
No, this is the police force. Now, this
Oh,
was changed over, I believe, in the year 2000, something like that.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the dispatch.
This has nothing to do with the dispatch. That's another subject which, Lord, we could spend. Anyway, they don't any longer use, of course, the village.
Right.
And they've gone to the county for that. Well, they have since, I believe, the year 2000 used the sheriff's department, for their police services. And the sheriff's department has 15 officers that patrol the area. And they do a pretty good job too, but the township is looking towards the future, that they can bring additional officers in, and the criteria, for the expenses that are going to be incurred in the next few years. Now, what's that going to mean for you out there? The tax increase is a 3.9152. Sounds like a TV show, don't it? 3.9152, and it moves from 29152.
So in terms of dollars, what does that mean for your average taxpayer?
That will
Per thousand.
Per thousand.
That's
$1,000.
a per $1,000 evaluation.
You got it. You knew the
Okay.
answer before you asked it. Why is that?
I don't know.
Let's talk about that when we get
You got
back.
the cart before the horse.
Right after this. Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we just got through beating the living daylights out of the Oxford
Police Department.
Police Department.
Oxford Township Police Department.
Yes. Okay. And we did talk about Glaspie Street.
Yep.
We talked about how great Pothole Hill is, or Cemetery Hill, whatever you want to call it.
Great big holes.
Right. So we're going to move on. Just so you know, too, that the village tax is at 10.62
For what?
for millage to operate the village. 10.62.
That's the operating budget for the village. Okay.
Well, that's what we get in,
Okay.
to operate the village with. Of that, 2.50 is used for 911 dispatch.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
So
the one that the township split away from.
Yes, that's the one they decided to go to the county for.
But that we still share with Lake Orion.
Well, yes, we set a contract with Lake Orion
Right.
that we would handle their police services through Oxford Village,
Okay.
which for the grand, fantastic price of $20,000 per year.
And as Paul Harvey would say, that was the rest of the story.
Well, it's not yet because they're still going on.
Oh, no.
What came up in the council was that they want to try to get this on the ballot in November, but they have a hard time figuring out how to get it on there. It's the wording, and if you take every word, you know, in the ballot, people could battle over each little word, and they did.
Oh.
Yes. So actually,
I should have given them door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3.
right.
Take
so
a vote.
right. But you know, some council people said, "Well, hey, let's not fool around with it. Let's raise the tax on everybody." I said, "Whoa, no, don't want to do that."
That woke them up, didn't it?
Yeah. Instead of having a 10.62, removing the 2.5, they said that's going to be too hard to put on the ballot. Let's raise it to 2.5 from 10.62.
You mean
That's
12?
when-
You mean 12.5?
Yeah. Yeah. From, well, it's 10.62, but it'd go to 12.
Right.
We said, whoa, that's not what we really want to achieve. We want to use the budget that we have and remove the money if it can be removed.
And the
use it
Republicans
for
said,
infrastructure.
and the Republicans said no more taxes. Wait a minute, they're all Republicans.
Yeah. What's with that anyway? So right now it's back to the attorney, and the attorney has been instructed to, if any way possible, to provide the legal wording for this ballot, so the residents will be given an opportunity to vote.
It would seem that November seems a long way away, but there must be a deadline by
July.
which July. Okay.
And so the other part of it is that even though the legal part of it will be put together, the council members still have to vote if it goes before
Right.
the
right.
vote of the people. So, you the people out there, raise smoke if you want to vote.
Come to the meeting, voice your
Right.
opinion.
Absolutely. Let's go on to the Oxford Area Cable Communications Commission. And you
Oh.
were there.
I was there. You were there.
I was there.
We were
Yeah.
all there.
And Bill was there. Bill
And
Service,
Bill was there.
our manager.
And our new employee,
which one
Ryan
was that?
Myers.
Thank you.
He worked the camera.
You did a good job.
Yep.
At least we had some footage when we were done. So it must have. Yeah, and matter of fact, he's an editor too.
And a very, very good one.
Yeah. Okay. Watch it. He'll be looking for a raise. You know.
I think I saw him.
Sorry.
It's dark over there, but I think I saw him blush.
Did you? Oh, okay. Light in the dark. Okay. Anyway, they talked first of all about expenses, which you usually are involved with that, and revenue. Did the bill run, and they approved that. It went
Right.
through. I think you kind of juggle. I mean, change the book. I mean,
What?
no, this guy does a lot of the accounting for this, so he pretty much knows the numbers. And if they're knitting a rope of any kind, they're usually looking at him. But no, he's pretty good with it, so it's not been a problem. See, you owe me.
Next.
Then they did talk about charter conversion to digital, and that there were some exceptions. And you got involved in that conversation,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah.
What happened?
We had some conversations with a gal named Vanessa Vasquez. She works for Charter and deals with the PEG stations and what have you. And basically we established that there are areas mainly in Addison Township that get an analog signal before they Charter change to digital, and they'll get an analog signal after. And it's due to the fact that Charter inherited some old lines that they haven't converted yet. So there's going to be channel 191 for all of you people that converted over to digital. And for those that didn't, that'll still be channel 19. And of course, AT&T is still channel 99.
Well, are they ever going to change to digital, or are they just going to continue to use
Charter
tin
says
can and string?
there's a lot of instances in the state of Michigan where that situation exists, where people are getting an analog signal. And in point of fact, she said that there are some locations that are being switched over to the digital infrastructure. However, they don't have a timeline for when the area around here would be affected.
Now, talk about politicians now. Did you catch that?
Wow.
Kind of went right around in a circle there. I still don't know what he said, do you? But anyway, we're also going to be talking about high definition going out eventually.
Oh, yeah.
What's the
yeah.
plan there?
Well, the plan is, of course, everything that we have here at the OCTV studios is full high definition. All the cameras, all the editing, everything is high definition. However, the signal that goes out of here is standard definition. And that's due to a restriction from Charter and possibly AT&T. And they are looking at possibly a year, possibly 2 years, giving us the capability of transmitting in high definition. So keep your fingers crossed, and we'll wait and see.
Yeah, actually, the studio is all set here,
Yep.
to go. It's just a matter of getting the server and everything
Yeah.
connected.
Well-
Okay, good. One other thing, they did have a committee reports for the school participation. Now, we've got John Ochin doing some things there, don't
Yes,
we?
he does. I forget what the name of his new program is, called Schooling or something like that.
Yeah, I can't recall either.
Schooling Around.
Schooling around.
Thank you. Our
School-
service manager
that's-
came through. Oh, Bill Service came through again.
That's schooling around.
Schooling.
Schooling. Okay.
Okay.
And it involves him chasing kids down the hall, stopping them, and just
Really?
talking with them. I think that's the way it works. Catches them
didn't
in the
know.
hallway.
They
playing
can run a lot
dice and
faster than he
cards or
can.
whatever they do.
They can run a lot faster than he can.
You know, I don't know. John can run pretty fast. I've seen him. He has to get somewhere. You know what? Let's talk about that and a couple of other things when we come back right after this. Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're talking about the Cable Commission
Yep.
and all the things that are going on out there. By the way, you want to give them the computer address and how they can go out there and check some programs?
We do have a website, and it's called OCCTV.org. And that site will have our PEG Central. You can see our program schedule. You can link out to YouTube. There's a lot of things that this website will tell you. In case you don't know what PEG Central is, we take most of the programs that we do here, including a lot of all the political meetings, school activities and what have you. Even though we broadcast them, we also put them on our website in PEG Central. So you can go in there, and if, for instance, maybe you're not getting the Charter signal or AT&T signal, you can still get on the website and see our programs.
You go to a little area called Programs, right?
Programs, and that
Yep.
puts you into PEG Central, and everything is in reverse date order, so you can just back through it, and when the activity you're looking for is there. In addition, which you can slice and dice it. You can say, just give me the Oxford School Board videos, and there they'll be.
Or if you just want to go to YouTube, that's
Just
up there
go
too.
to YouTube.
And you might see his smiling face out there.
And occasionally there's a sprinkling on Facebook. But
Sprinkling, huh? Okay, let's finish up the cable. They did have a committee reports. One was a school participation report. One was a technical committee. And the tech group, there's two on it. Ed
Hunwick
Hunwick.
and Buck Kreiderman.
Yep. And
Buck is the chairman of the OACCC, by the way.
right. And they're curious as to the equipment and so forth that we're going to be dealing with. They really don't have any experience, as one of the commissioners said, to be able to make the decision. They count on, the studio here to pretty much
Right.
provide the technical data to them.
Right, and in that conversation I had with Vanessa Vasquez, she hooked us up. We haven't called him yet, but she hooked us up with the head tech up in Davison. And I'm sure that he'll be very instrumental in telling us exactly what we need to do here to be prepared to send out that signal.
Exactly. And you and I are actually working on that together, so that works out okay. Personnel committee, there was really no report there. Just kind of scooted over that one. Facilities committee, we'd like to build a new building, but I don't think that's going to apply yet.
Well, there's a lot of stuff in the wind, folks, but we're not
Yeah.
going to cover it here.
Right. That'll take longer than what we have left here, right?
Given the amount
Could
of
be.
wind you've got, yes.
Oh, well, hey, thanks a lot, buddy. Okay, manager's report. Manager is short and sweet. He got right to the point. He said, hey, things are working great. Let me take the lead, and I've got good people in this organization. We'll make it work, and we have made it work, and you don't have any issues because you're pretty happy with what you see in terms of programming. A lot of programming out there from us.
There's a ton of programming out
Yep.
there.
So, if you folks have any question about that, do go out to the site that he talked about. That being said, let's move on. Let's talk about the school board.
Ooh,
Interesting little ditty came up there. There's a prom. And
the prom.
yeah, the prom. Oxford High School. And it was held at the San Marine Club in Troy.
oh, I know. I've seen that place.
Yeah, okay.
Nice
pretty
little
nice.
place.
Pretty nice, isn't it? Well, this year they had a breathalyzer test.
Who did?
The administrative people that are controlling the
How
prom.
did they do?
Well,
The administrative
most,
people.
most of the kids, yeah, they weren't drinking. But it was a problem they had with some of the kids
Oh.
drinking.
Well, they're anticipating problems.
Well, they must have been because they had the machine there. And
This is weeks before the prom, or
No, it's the night of the prom.
it was the night of the prom.
Yes. And most of the kids, I want to make it very clear, didn't have any problem whatsoever. And, but there were, appears, 14 kids that didn't do so well when they came in. Out of the 14, 5 of those were athletes.
So they made everybody blow into the tube that went in?
They did.
Or come out?
They did.
Which way was
Going
it?
in.
Going in, okay.
And there were 2 juniors involved in this. The rest were all seniors. So, and they were about to graduate, which is going to be kind of interesting. It was really interesting because when one of the kids blew a 2.5,
Holy smokes.
yeah, or a 0.25,
Amazing the
I'm
thing
sorry.
didn't catch
0.25,
fire.
he would have died. Got that number wrong. Hey, everything we tell you on here is the truth.
I think he broke the testing machine.
Yeah, I think he would have. One point, it's 0.1, or 0.21, I think is what it was. Oh yeah, 0.21.
Okay,
Okay. So anyway,
I believe you.
So they contacted the Troy Police Department. Troy Police Department came right out. They issued a citation to many of these youngsters. And the thing that was really a killer, they contacted the parents and told them to pick them up.
Oh.
So yeah, that was a killer right there.
Now, did all these kids drive there themselves, or did they have other transportation? A lot of times, kids come in limos and stuff like that.
I think they drove together, and I think several of the ones that were somewhat intoxicated came together. So they had a designated driver who also was intoxicated. Not a good thing. Okay, so anyway, so they really hit the fan.
So
So here's what happened. The juniors, not the seniors, have a 10-day suspension, but if enrolled in a council for destructive decision-making.
destructive decision.
I didn't know there was such a thing, did you?
Do now.
Okay, so anyway, they have to enroll in that, or suspension then would be 5 days if they did that.
Or else.
Right. The other thing is that the ones that participate in sports will lose a third of their activity with the sports program. So yeah, they
third?
got hit pretty
What does
hard.
that mean?
I don't know how much time they have left in the sports program. What's coming up in the future?
Not much, but we got Memorial Day coming up, so
Okay.
everyone have a happy Memorial Day. On June 2nd, at 7 o'clock, the Village of Oxford Zoning Board of Appeals. But check on that one because sometimes they don't meet. And at 7:30 the same day, Addison Township Parks Committee. On June 3rd at 7 o'clock, the Village of Oxford Planning Commission. And on June 4th at 6:30, the Oxford Township Economic Development Subcommittee. And sometimes they don't meet, so check on that one. And
Yeah.
that's it.
That's it? Okay. I just want to mention one thing about the kids here, that not all the kids were bad. There's just some that made bad decisions in this thing. That's the way you learn through life.
And those decisions will be reviewed with their parents.
Right. And I got to tell you, if they don't learn, they'll learn later on the hard way. Okay. So that being said, I think the school board is doing a great job, and I think the faculty is...
They're showing a lot of responsibility
yeah.
there.
And they care about the kids. That's the only reason why the pressure is on. Okay. I'm Elgin Nichols,
And I'm Dave Kenny.
and we'll catch you next time on Minutes by Minute.
See you then.
Yeah, that's, I don't remember doing that, do you? Yeah, you probably.
You're watching OCTV, Oxford Community Television, serving Oxford, Addison Township, and the village of Leonard.
At Oakland County Parks and Recreation, we value what you value: family relationships, community connections, good health, environmental stewardship, and economic stability. Oakland County residents and businesses have invested in preserving nearly 7,000 acres of parkland. Since 1966, 13 parks and golf courses have been acquired, maintained, and improved. Oakland County parks and facilities are made possible by millage funds supported by Oakland County residents. For a home valued at $200,000, the homeowner pays less than $25 per year to support the Oakland County parks. With every generation, families create lifelong memories at Oakland County's award-winning parks. From exciting summer escapades and stories around the campfire to brisk fall walks on wooded trails and snowy winter outings, the outdoors beckons year-round. It's time to get up, get out, and get going at the Oakland County parks. Active recreation options abound. Cross-country ski or mountain bike on tree-lined trails. Scale the rock climbing wall. Get your kicks with soccer at several sports fields. Row or paddle a boat on 4 picturesque inland lakes. It's an easy journey. Most parks are just a short drive away. A quick tip: all our parks and golf courses end in Oaks. To find your favorite, just go to DestinationOakland.com. Click to pick Oceans of Motion water parks at Red Oaks and Waterford Oaks, the Wint Nature Center at Independence Oaks, Teen Adventures, and even entertainment to go. When outdoor adventures on your list, there's fishing, beaches, boating, playgrounds, and seasonal hunting. The campgrounds at Addison Oaks and Groveland Oaks feel like being up north with plenty of recreation options. Want to get fit? Hit the trails. Oakland County Parks boasts more than 68 miles for strolling, walking, hiking and running, biking, or horseback riding. If the links are your lure, 5 golf courses, including Premier Course Lion Oaks, are conveniently located. Make Glen Oaks or White Lake Oaks your home course. Get an up-north feel at Springfield Oaks, or play a quick 9 at Red Oaks. Our recreation lineup rocks. Learn to swim. Experience an outdoor adventures camp. Take the fast track at BMX, or gain new lifelong skills. Everyone's included. Individuals with disabilities participate in dozens of adaptive opportunities, including a new fully accessible playscape, modified golf carts, and annual events. There's always something special going on at Oakland County Parks, whether it's a classic car show, the Oakland County Fair, a senior golf tournament, or the Ellis Barn Festival. Being green is an everyday practice with nature interpretive programs, wildlife habitat protection, reduction of invasive species, and stormwater management. Your responses to surveys indicate that you want more trails. The Oakland Trails Advisory Council was established to coordinate trail systems and seek grant sources for future trail construction. You also said that maintaining and refurbishing existing facilities is a high priority.